Where are we in this country? Over the weekend, we had more developments on a story that we saw just before the weekend. An ABC affiliate was shot up in Sacramento. Stories began to emerge that the man who was arrested for the shooting is a die-hard anti-Trumper, teachers union. These are allegations. We don't know exactly who this person is, but these are the rumors swirling. Now, after this ABC affiliate was shot up, the question was why? And the assumption was the firing of Jimmy Kimmel. He was fired from ABC, and the affiliates were the reason, largely, that his show was taken off the air. So many began to wonder. As these stories emerged, these reports emerged, rumors, I should say, that this man who shot it up was, in fact, a Democrat, liberal, anti-Trumper. We got news that he was released on bail, and now we have a major update. The FBI has arrested this man. Guys, do you see where this is going? Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, whatever. I'm at my wit's end, I guess. Local governments have released a man who allegedly opened fire on an ABC station because Disney fired Jimmy Kimmel. It is purely politically motivated, and in the local jurisdiction, they let him go. This is a report of what appears to be a terroristic act to terrorize a station because its owners took action against Jimmy Kimmel. Advertisers were pissed off. The FBI intervening shows the federal government under Donald Trump intervening to stop a terror attack. Do you see the equation here? This is what I've described quite a bit. I predicted last year that there would be a battle over control of the National Guard, literally happening right now, terrifying. I don't know where it goes. Maybe everyone's optimism bias and normalcy bias just says, okay, nothing will really happen. Nothing will happen here. It'll all fizzle away, perhaps. Perhaps because of yesterday's memorial. Perhaps because of Donald Trump stepping up and doing things like this. The left is battered down. But my fear is insurgent, terror attack type violence. Things like this. Somebody drove, it was a drive-by shooting. Let me read you the news from KCRA. FBI arrests Sacramento man in connection with ABC 10 news station shooting after earlier release on bail. A Sacramento man suspected of shooting into the ABC television station's lobby has been arrested again, hours after he posted bail on Saturday. The FBI says Anibal Hernandez Santana, 64, was arrested on probable cause for violating federal statute 47 USC 333, which has to do with interference with radio communications of stations that are licensed by the government. Police said Friday they responded to reports of shots being fired from outside the ABC 10 building at 400 Broadway. After 1:30 p.m., no one was injured. So this man was released. We have these video. 3 bullet holes were seen in the window of the building's lobby. A person was in the lobby at the time of the shooting, but not physically harmed. Police confirmed early Saturday that Hernandez Santana was arrested Friday evening at his residence. Investigators had linked him to a vehicle suspected in the drive-by shooting. He was first booked into the Sacramento County main jail around midnight on charges that include assault with a deadly weapon, shooting into an occupied building, and negligent discharge of a firearm. Bail was set at $200,000. He posted bail on Saturday. These people claim we need gun control laws. What if 3 people were all shot and killed? And they'd be like, we need gun control. They released them. They're not concerned about gun control. They released them. You see what's going to happen? They argue that in West Virginia, see, the Democrats go to Congress and they say everyone should be banned from owning guns. They literally tried to ban semi-automatic guns. That's like every gun. This would mean you in West Virginia. What would happen? They do this so that they can take away the guns from people in the red areas where you will be held accountable. And in the blue areas, if you're caught, they let you go. Rules for thee, but not for me. Do not let them. The FBI is not. Asked Saturday afternoon whether a weapon had been recovered during the arrest, Sacramento police said she did not have details. Most of the time I see the FCC looking at knowing interference with the radio TV station. I see references to things as jammers or devices. There have been some instances over the last decade in which people have either been charged or there has been discussion of charging people who have been engaged in property destruction or violence that then has interfered with the effective use of airwaves. The federal violation results in a $10,000 fine up to 1 year in prison. KCRA saw the police activity at the River Park apartments around 6:15. We made eye contact, and right as he passed my windshield, I heard a loudspeaker, a whole bunch of officers say, "Get down on the ground or we're going to shoot." Whoa. We parked right next to each other. There's no cars between us. He was a nice guy, but then after hearing this, all this, we were just like, what happened? Yeah. He allegedly shot into this building. Tegna, which owns ABC 10, said we can confirm shots were fired into our station. While details are still limited, importantly, all of our employees are safe and unharmed. We are fully cooperating. Gavin Newsom's office said he had been briefed. While no injuries have been reported, any act of violence toward journalists is an attack on democracy itself. Well, here's Nick Sorter. We'll jump over to X. He says, breaking, the leftist who shot up a local ABC station over their suspension of Jimmy Kimmel has been released on bail. WTF. Why are we allowing literal leftist terrorists back onto American streets? He should be taken into federal custody. Libs of TikTok says this is the guy who was arrested for shooting up an ABC station because he was mad at Kimmel's show was canceled. Mad that. And they show posts from a man, Al Hernandez Santana. Where is a good heart attack when we need it the most? Please join in my thoughts and prayers for the physical demise of our fearful leader. He also tweeted, I think the word empathy that made up New Age term did a lot of damage to CK's carotid artery. Now, again, I don't know if this is actually the guy. This is what people are saying on X. Someone said, Jerry Dunlap, this is the guy who allegedly shot up an ABC affiliate in Sacramento the day after a protest was held at the TV station following Jimmy Kimmel's suspension. Here's one post. Given the number of innocent and legal immigrants deported without cause, people killed, kids abandoned without health treatment, he says including Capitol Police, and career officials persecuted by the Trump administration, is anyone surprised? I believe we will see more of this. No Capitol Police were killed in January 6th. It's a lie. He said, our thoughts and prayers are with Charlie Kirk and his family. May the prudence of his cost-benefit analysis for 2-8 rights versus school shootings live on forever. I think the word empathy, we read that one already. And he says, Troy Nails said, if Charlie Kirk lived in biblical times, he'd have been the 13th disciple. This man says, this is blasphemy. Can't believe the Republicans sucking up to their own twisted show. Besides, St. Paul of Tarsus was the 13th disciple, white moronic man. So apparently, as it is being reported now, that's what it appears to be. And as I often say, we don't know just yet. They said this is Hernandez Santana was the name of the guy. People are showing these tweets. Maybe it's someone of a similar name. I have no idea. Seems to be likely that this is the guy. And he is a Democrat far leftist. And you know what's scary? I'll tell you this. What's scary is far left doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, they call everyone on the right far right. Why? They called Charlie Kirk far right. If Charlie Kirk's far right, who's not far right? Honest question. Nobody. We don't need to say far left. These are moderate mainstream Democrat positions. And this guy, assuming to be it's the correct person, appears to be a mainstream Democrat personality. He was not espousing Marxist-Leninist ideology. He was literally just saying what MSNBC, what NBC, what CNN says. That is what is truly terrifying. On the left, they say the right is responsible for most of the political violence. And what they're claiming is unhinged, far-right, whatever nonsense, like made up words. A white supremacist did a bad thing. He beat his wife. Honestly, that's what they're saying. When a white supremacist beats his wife, they call it a right-wing extremist event. But the Republican Party doesn't have white supremacists in it. They'll lie and claim it does, but you know they don't. And as long as you do, that's what matters. On the left, this guy was aligned with the mainstream default liberal position. That's what's scary. Donald Trump says he hates his enemies. So what? Stephen Miller says we'll defeat evil and wickedness. Sure. The left says they'll defeat fascism. Okay. The point is, these shooters, the man who killed Charlie Kirk, are so much closer to mainstream Democrat than anyone wants to acknowledge, and that is what is terrifying. What we are witnessing right now, they released this man. I don't care what the reason is. Maybe they got the wrong guy. I don't know. For now, the story reported his name. People online have found a man of that name who is espousing leftist ideology, and it appears to be the same guy, same area. Maybe it's not. But I will add, finally, and the most important thing. The truth doesn't matter to partisans. Liberals are going to take that one out of context. They always do. The point is, as far as anyone on the right is concerned, that's the guy. A Democrat voter, default lib, did this. The escalation is before us. It is not slowing down. Now, I will say, last week I said at the current pace, I expected to see arrests by this week. Over the weekend, indictments were made. So I'm like, wow, the weekend? It's faster than I thought. We'll see. The question is, how far is Donald Trump willing to go? Honestly, I don't know. But I will say that as much as I wish we could go back to normal and we can spend more time talking about the game, whichever game that may be, it is weird. It really is. There's a video that I have. I'm working on producing the segment where a guy tries to go to a town hall meeting in Philly and leftists link arms and refuse to let him in because he's conservative or presumed to be. How can you engage in civic discourse and debate when the left uses physical force and threats of death to stop you from engaging? Literally, that's the video. They say, do not come in or you'll see what happens. We know what that means. Threatening him with death or great bodily harm. So there's no more discussion in these areas. They're saying you will die. Where does this go? Where does this go? Smash the like button, share the show, stay tuned. More to come. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you all in the next segment.